If Polanski had taken a train south from Poland to Czechoslovakia in the late 50s and 60s, he'd have come across a movie world not a million miles away from his own. Czechoslovakian cinema was, in these days, specialising in animation and puppetry. Jiří Trnka was its figurehead. Trnka's famous 1965 film, The Hand, is one of the most hauntingly symbolic movies in the story of film. A fun-loving little man is disturbed in his home by a hand. Trnka uses live action for the hand, but stop motion for the man. The hand sends him a TV set, a reminder of Douglas Sirk's film, All That Heaven Allows. The TV shows him images of power. Trnka uses paper cutouts. The hand indoctrinates the man, makes him sculpt a giant effigy. But then he tries to resist the indoctrination, but his attempts prove fatal. A sound like a bomb, and suddenly we're outside the puppet theatre.
Today it's...
Where Trnka's film was about a haunted life, his fellow Czech, Miloš Forman, saw life as comic, almost absurd.
Theoretically also because...
Forman's start in life was similar to Polanski's. He was Jewish, both his parents were killed by the Nazis, and he was a film school graduate. Firemen were supposed to be portrayed as heroic public servants in the communist world. But in Forman's very funny film, The Fireman's Ball, they're incompetent and immature, clueless like Laurel and Hardy. They're staging a beauty contest, but they couldn't organise a piss-up in a brewery.
Někdo nám zebral z tombol několik cen. Nemůžeme pokračovat. My teďko zasneme. Bude tma v této nastalé tmě, ten, kdo to zcizil, to tam odnese. No ne, ještě nezačínej, ještě ne, ještě jsem nedomluvil. Rozsvít, no nezačínejte, rozsvíťte. Co to? To je nějaký nedorozumění.
Forman has his movie filmed without gloss, almost like a documentary, a Cassavetes film. The most innovative director in Czechoslovakia at the time was Vera Kytilova. This is the first scene in her film Daisies. Two women, marry one and marry two, squeak like dolls.
Jsem takhle jako pana, ne? Já jsem pana. Aha. Chápeš to?
It's as if they're puppets being worked by the hand from Trnka's film.
Nikdo nás.
There are astonishing sequences like this. Trippy, like the Lumiere brothers on acid. And then, in a sequence like this, we're in the world of pop art, of Andy Warhol. The authorities hated Daisies, of course, and after the Soviet Union clamped down on Czechoslovakia in 1968, Kytilova, because of her modernism, was banned from working for 6 years. In Czechoslovakia's neighbouring country, Hungary, movie making entered its innovative golden age in the 60s. Take this early scene in Miklos Janšo's The Red and the White. We're in Russia in 1918. Revolutionaries, reds, clash with counter-revolutionaries, whites. A red soldier hides behind a bush as white guards on horseback capture his friend. Janšo shows this in a single roving 3-minute shot, 10 camera moves, without a single cut. Whereas 60s Czech cinema was interested in lightness and mockery, Janšo used the highly planned tracking shots favoured by Mitsuguchi in Japan or Hitchcock in America to create tension a sense of breath being held. Like Mitsuguchi, he doesn't get close to his characters' faces. The detached control of Yansho's camera is like the detached control of the white infantryman. Form echoing content, a very modern idea. At the end of the film, this happens. Finally, a near close-up. A soldier looks to camera. Humanity at last crashes into Yansho's icy universe of control and despair. No one in the story of film used long takes better to evoke suffering. The influence of Yansho on the 90s Hungarian director Béla Tarr was profound.